What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's Eli, and we're back here with another banger video. Today we're going to be talking about race and its cultural impact on society, and how it's significant that we look at that through a philosophical mindset. And I've included some philosophers that I've learned about in class this semester, and I have included a video that relatable case study that I looked up online, and I picked that one because I thought you guys would think it was interesting, because I did. And with this first philosopher, Hosslanger, she wants us to look at race as if it was a social lens rather than some kind of biological set thing. What this means is that she thinks race isn't something that we were born with in our DNA, like eye color or height or arm length. Instead, race is something that creates a societal trap, and it gives meaning to us based on how we look or where we're from. Hosslanger doesn't agree with this because this idea doesn't reflect real biological differences, because scientifically people are going to look very similar genetically, but race is a set of ideas that society invents to categorize people, is basically what she thinks. And with Plato on the other side, he believed in essentialism, and with race and essentialism, he thought that it was rooted deep down in every person, genetically and mentally, and physically, which is genetically, I guess. But Plato believed that people always had certain qualities deep down, due to race and ethnicity. It suggests that people belonged to different races because of unchangeable characteristics about them. And this kind of thinking is not forward thinking at all, and can lead to people believing that certain races are naturally suited to certain types of work, or behavior, or social status. And this that is not a productive way of thinking as a society, I think. And it's a really old thought process, but Plato was from an earlier time than us, so everybody around him was thinking differently. But yeah, these two ideas definitely contrast each other, but I think that there's definitely some scientific support with race, but I don't think there's deep rooted characteristics in every white person, black person, Asian person. So I think that you should take Plato with a grain of salt and really listen to Hosslanger, because Hosslanger is right, but in my opinion, but Plato also has a slight truth to it. With Neil Gotanda and George Klosko, they both explored how society makes ideas and classifications with race, and they discussed the hypodescent rule, formerly known as the one drop rule. This rule states that if one person has one drop of one ancestry, then they're that ancestry. So if I have one drop of black in me, I am black, or if I have one drop of Native American in me, I am Native American. This idea has big effects on how people see themselves, and can negatively impact people, because say somebody was black and Asian, or mixed at all, they might see themselves as just black. This overlooks their complex backgrounds, and they might not see all of themselves. But this also plays into another thing Hosslanger believed in, and that we should use gender the same way we do race, and we should she suggested that race isn't just about biological traits, but it also is about how society feels and sets expectations. So I think that everybody should be more open-minded to just whatever one person wants to be. You should let them be it, and not. It's just gonna causing like making more restraints is only gonna bring society down and make people less open-minded. Next up is Dembroff, and with Ryan Dembroff, they believed that our current beliefs with sexual orientation and gender are too strict and rigid. They argued that we should rethink or reconsider all of these ideas and better reflect them on every individual person and every person's experiences, because every person experiences different things, and we shouldn't just look at sexual orientation as who you're attracted to, with men, women, both, or neither, but we should consider like how and why these things happen and why people are attracted to who because of certain experiences in their life. But this can apply with race heavily, because with race people always have a fixed idea, like sexual orientation, but yeah, we always categorize people in races, whether it's black, white, Asian, mixed, but Dembroff's approach suggests that we could have a broader thought process with this and reflect on every person individually and what their experiences were. For instance, someone might be seen as a black person or belonging to one racial group based on their appearance, but they might identify more closely to another group because of how they grew up, like because they were adopted per se or something like that. But yeah, that's a good example of how we could apply Dembroff to race. And with bidimensional dispositionalism, which is an idea that Dembroff came up with, this theory applies just as much to gender as it does sexual orientation, and but it is about sexual orientation. It states that a sexual orientation is based on a person's disposition, so like their experiences, whatever happens to them, and whatever happens to them is how they end up engaging in sexual behavior, and we should consider all these dispositions when choosing sex and gender. But yeah, that's the basic idea of it. With the bidimensional half of the word, like the first word bidimensional, it's referring to the two dimensions of sex and gender. So there's a lot of depth in that word, in the name of the idea also. But yeah, Dembroff is. Now we're going to talk about Johnny Depp. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I went and did a case study, or I found a case study, and I tried to find the most interesting one to link to today's topic of the video. And the most interesting thing I could find was Johnny Depp's casting in The Lone Ranger as Tonto, a Native American character in a movie that is with a lot of Native American culture, and this is a perfect example of whitewash casting, and it really spiked controversy everywhere in Hollywood. Everybody was discussing whitewash casting more, because this was just blatant, and whitewash casting, if you couldn't fill in the dots already, is where white actors are casted as non-white roles, and this can be examined through multiple philosophical mindsets. And with the promotion of white dominance, Johnny Depp, a white actor in a Native American role, can be seen as whitewashing as social dominance, is because they're putting him as the hero. They're portraying the white male as the hero in the Native American rooted movie. The decision to make a white man the hero of a story deeply rooted in Native American culture is it's just blatant societal it's just blatant societal like patterns. You can see how people are trying to stay in power, and how one white dominance is really a thing. But this used to be a way bigger problem back in the early 2000s, but nowadays, with the woke mind, the woke hive mind moving around, everybody's trying to be woke. Disney and all these other companies are trying to make themselves seem better by not doing that anymore, and they're casting women at roles of importance and people of minorities at roles of importance. I think they're just doing this for money, but according to Hosslanger, the ways we define and perceive race are influenced by social narratives and cultural representations. This all aligns with them casting Johnny Depp as Tonto, because them casting him as Tonto contributes to the white majority, and doesn't give the Native American people a voice really as much, and instead of opting for the Native American guy who naturally fits the role and portrays the role better, they chose a white guy who is famous in Hollywood. And today I'm going to wrap up this video with some ideas that I want y'all to leave with, and some ideas that these philosophers, I think, would want y'all to leave with. But with all these various philosophers, they want to teach us that our ideas aren't set in stone on race, gender, on anything, but we're shaped by the new ideas that we make as a society and as the human race. But by challenging these old ideas and old point of views, we embrace new ones in their more flexible ways of thinking, and can give everyone their own sense of identity. We should work towards this because it'll give us a more fair society where everyone feels valued and everyone has an identity and doesn't feel like they're alone or they don't know who they are. But this understanding all of this is key for both this decision making later in life, and to reduce inequality, and to make everybody feel equal. And yeah, that's how I'm gonna end it off. Like and subscribe, everyone. It's free to subscribe, don't forget that. But check in next week for hopefully another banger video. Have a good week.